This lady's looking at me in her nightgown and she's going, "You're not my husband. You're not my husband." Like in this weird, like glassy look over her eyes. And I'm just like,
I just got chills.
What the fuck is going on here, dude?
Subscribe to our YouTube if you're not. Please, please, please. It's very good. It's the best kept secret on YouTube.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a secret right now.
Yeah. Let's expose it.
Let's go.
Tell a friend. Feeling better, buddy.
I'm trying, buddy. I feel like during the day I'm all right. It's the waking up and the going to sleep. It's at night I'm busted up because I'm still feeling it.
Right.
And in the morning I'm a little bit busted up. But then I get out of bed, I get out and get some water, move around, and I feel I'm okay. But then like around 8 o'clock, I just start getting, I'm just like, uh-oh. You can just feel it, and then at night, I'm just like the worst. It's like when you're sleeping, the hot and coldness.
That sucks, man. It's not COVID for everybody that's listening.
I got tested. Got the old rapid test.
That rapid test is a shit, man. Like I literally, when I found out I got exposed to COVID and had to get that rapid test before I left to go to Lexington that morning.
Yeah.
Like total what? I mean, after they swabbed me, it took me 5 minutes of waiting after I got at my arrival time, swabbed me, and I bet you I was in there getting my results in 10 minutes.
Boom, done.
It was sick. Like, it was fucking awesome. And I was like, man, what if everything was like this? What if all healthcare was like this? You know what I mean? Like, you just show up, you're like, I don't feel good. And they're like, okay, let's take a swab of your nose real quick. All right, this is what you got. Here's your medicine. 15 minutes later, you're back at home. Snoozing, watching Netflix,
just chilling.
It'd be awesome.
I laid it.
So you remember back in the old Star Trek show, Dr. McCoy had that little thing. It looked like a remote control to a TV, and he'd go, boo. He'd wave it over your body. He's like, "Oh yeah, you have cancer. Hang on a second. Boo. Okay, it's gone." Like,
really? I just never a Star Trek guy. I was too young, and I can't.
Yeah, it's they didn't use that in the new one, and I'm like, dude, that was the coolest thing. He could diagnose anything by waving this wand over you real quick and just looking at it, and then whatever you had wrong with you, he could fix it in like 2 minutes by waving it back over there. He just like put in a setting. Oh, let me put the cancer zapper on. Boop, gone. It was awesome.
I wonder, I mean, how much farther are we from any of the Star Trek? I mean, listen, some of our other shows have come into play, like Knight Rider. I mean, we've mentioned it before, but that was a technology that we thought was absolutely space aged.
Yeah.
And now you can have talk to your car from your watch, and they can come over and meet you.
Yes. It's insane. I don't know what, Mike, I'm trying to think.
Like, is there any technologies that are going to be, the Beam Me Up Scotty was always the one, the teleporter. That was always the top one.
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool because can you imagine traveling for shows that way? Yeah. You're like, I'm in the hotel. Nice.
All right. Now, I wanted to ask something. I mean, it's a little current eventy here. And then if it's something you're not comfortable talking about, just cut it out or whatever, or we don't talk about it. But the George Floyd case is going on. Now, I don't want to talk about the race part of it. I don't want to talk about anything part of it except for, let's just say it was two colorless humans. One is a cop with his knee on the guy's neck for that long. And the other, they're both the same. Let's say that. Is that still, like, from a police perspective, hit us with, like, he was on his fucking knee with his hands in his pockets, like relaxing all his body weight in this man's neck for that long. Now, if you take away all the race out of it and just straight up human on human, what do you see that happen there? Was that fucked up and against protocol?
Well, it's interesting because I saw something on the news. Somebody was kind of breaking it down, right? And they were saying that one argument in his defense that he's raising is that that's a technique taught to their police department in their defensive tactics training or whatever their department calls it. And when I was a defensive tactics instructor, we taught them not to put the knee on the neck, to put the knee in the middle of the back. So for one, you have better control theoretically because you're controlling center mass, just like in jiu-jitsu or anything else. Put the weight, your hips on their hips and you can control them better, right? So you're putting your weight like more toward their hips than you are toward the head because you could be you could be shook off real quick. And plus, it's dangerous. The neck is more of a fragile area for the person on the bottom than the damn middle or lower back is, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
that's just pure meat and just nothing but sensitive organs in there, dude. Your fucking only breath, your only oxygen, pipe.
Right. And then plus the length of time that he did. And I will say this, when I watched the video, I could keep seeing him lean into the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Just lean into the knee every now and then you could see him lean out of it, like almost like torture. Because obviously, when he leans into the knee, there's more weight, more pain,
more pressure,
all that stuff. So I don't see how he's going to get around it, as if that's his defense anyway. Because I think they would totally bring up defensive tactics instructors from all over the country who are like, "No, we teach off the neck. Get off that fucking neck. What are you doing? Go to the middle of the back, more toward the center of the body or upper torso." So I have no idea. Like, it was the stupidest thing I ever heard. But then people were like, whoa. I'm like, why are we even entertaining that? He would have to have either they at that department, they're teaching defensive tactics totally wrong, still like they did in the 40s, or they're just grasping at straws. I don't think you see any. I mean, in our lifetime, we can go back to the
Rodney King
beating, and when those cops got acquitted, remember the riots and all that shit, and them dragging that dude out of the semi truck during the
Reginald
riots,
Denny.
Reginald Denny, and beating him nearly to death. Like, that's absolutely going to happen if he's acquitted.
If he's acquitted, just don't leave your house.
Don't leave your house. It's going to be nuts.
This might make the Rodney King riots look like a fucking picnic.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest. I mean, I felt like, you had 9 guys just sitting back taking shots at the dude like Rodney King. So,
right.
That was probably the wrong verdict. But this one, I'm like, dude, the guy is just relaxing with his hands in his pocket, just throwing pressure. Like, this is, to me, whoever's down there, whoever the cop color is, whatever the color is, the person,
right.
You got a handcuff dude, bro. Get off him and put him in the cop car, man.
Once the cuffs are on, and that's a good point too. That was always rule number 1. Once the cuffs are on, fight's over. Okay.
Yeah.
Maintain control, obviously, grip the cuff between the 2 hands so that when you're walking them, if they start to run away, you can hang on and then twist a little bit and apply a little pain compliance, because you're like, oh, okay, I'll stop.
Yep.
And
you feel that metal on the bone. You're not moving around too much, dude. That shit hurts, dude.
It hurts
that
like
that little knuckle bone right there on the wrist, the handcuff on there.
Oh, dude.
Fuck, dude.
When I taught defensive tactics in the academy, because the recruits are so gung ho and they get scared when you put them in a violent encounter, right? Because some of them ain't never been in a fight before.
Yeah.
And they, when you're an instructor, you also got to play dummy all the time. You got to be a role player. So I got fucking handcuffed per that week in the academy. I bet you I got handcuffed and dragged to the ground by my handcuff and put into an arm bar by my handcuff 400 times. By the time the week was over, you were just like, oh, if another person touches my wrist, I'm going to fucking kill you. That's how you feel.
And even if he's still if he's handcuffed behind his back and he's still being unruly, then fucking cuff his hog tie him. That's what we did in prison. If they wouldn't stop, bro, you throw them down, you slap the fucking chains on the feet, you lock them to the handcuffs, and you carry them like a suitcase.
How many officers did they have there? 4?
At least.
For most of it? It's like, dude, yeah, okay, he won't go up to his butt. There's 4 of you. Each of you grab an arm. You guys put some zip ties on his ankles like you're saying, and let's fucking roll him to his butt and pick him the fuck up and put him in the car or the paddy. We'll call a paddy wagon. It's Minneapolis PD. They got paddy wagons.
Yes, yeah, he was I think he was handcuffed the entire time he had his knee on his back, on his neck. So listen, I mean, we're not trying to get into a race thing here on this show, but we're just talking about human rights and how it works as a cop. And Todd's sitting here telling you and why they don't just call in a fucking tactical instructor from somewhere else and be like you're just saying, first of all, he was handcuffed. Get him in the car. What are we talking about here? How long was he supposedly on his neck? Also, I would like to know.
Yeah, I know, because it seemed like forever when I watched it. It was sickening. And here's the whole deal too. We're not talking about what happened prior to that cop putting his knee on his neck once he's handcuffed, right? We're Was the fight deserved? Like, were the cops justified up to that point? Of course, I haven't even seen that part of the video. I mean, I think I saw bits and pieces when he first like was kind of refusing to come back and talk to him and try to get in the car or whatever. Like that may have been justified. That guy might have been an asshole up to that point. There was supposedly an existing relationship between that cop and that guy.
Yeah, from a nightclub that he worked at.
And that's another reason. You know what? Cops shouldn't be fucking working these nightclubs.
Like, yeah, sitting out front, their time off or whatever, right?
Yeah, so much bad shit happens from cops working those nightclubs. They either get in trouble because they start fucking servers or, they make relationships with people they shouldn't, like there's just a lot of temptation there. And
yeah, because it's a very standoffish. It's not normal police interaction because I work at nightclubs where there's a cop and you get to hang out with them and talk to them like they're just like a coworker. And so, yeah, I can see what you're saying there. Like there's lines that cross. He was on his neck for 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's fucking ridiculous. Now, from what I told you, like you've done a lot of jiu-jitsu and stuff. You slide that knee from the neck to like halfway between the shoulder blades and the ass. What's that going to, I guess you could lean full body, and if someone's got some kind of, if they have asthma or some kind of breathing condition, you could compress in their breathing, could be a problem. But outside of that, I mean, obviously way safer. And that's why it's taught that way. I don't even fucking get it, dude.
A 10-minute window to get the guy up off the ground and in the back of the car. We ain't saying he didn't fuck up. I think he got called the cops because he was supposedly trying to pass a $20 fake bill at the gas station, at the liquor store or whatever. Now, all that aside, this has nothing to do with anything but the actual part of this dude hung out with his hands in his pockets like he was leisurely just slowly murdering somebody.
Right. And now listen, here's the deal with passing counterfeit 20s too. Obviously, if they got really into it, I mean, you know how many people are running around in downtown Minneapolis right now, or New Jersey where you live, and here that are walking around with counterfeit 20s that have no idea. They get fucking put on the street all the time. Then they end up in stores. You get change. You get a counterfeit. That happens all the time. So there's no reason to freak out about somebody trying to pass a counterfeit 20 or whatever. Yeah. Like probably now, maybe he had something to do with it being counterfeit. Who the fuck knows? But I would say chances are he probably didn't even know it was counterfeit.
Yeah, and no matter what happened, though, I mean, 9 minutes. I can't imagine someone like when someone puts you in a chokehold, 3 seconds seems like a million years.
Oh my God! Yes.
Like from the moment you have to tap, when you can no longer breathe, and you're trying to tap out, that quickness to the tap. That's because I'm in full panic mode. Like this, I wonder how many minutes he was actually dead down there, because he had to have been dead part of them. He couldn't have lasted all 9 minutes and died in the way.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
remember that part of the video, but they're also trying to say that there's 2 autopsies. One is said he died from asphyxiation or whatever, basically not being able to breathe, and one that says he died because of fentanyl. Yeah. Now, I don't know how in the fuck that happens. That's another thing that always pisses me off. How can there be 2 fucking doctors with 2 different causes of death?
Let's say one of them. I bet you the first one might have been the fentanyl, because that's the fucking guy that's in charge of making sure to try to cover this all up. At the end of the day, dude, the internet is showing us one thing. It's just nonstop cover-ups. The movies are real, dude.
I know.
I'm in Florida. I came down here with my lady's family, and now I keep up with a lot of shit, right? With when it comes to politics, like I keep up, especially with the corruption on both sides, right? So, like, as a libertarian type dude, I don't have a football stance on anything. Like, if you're skimming, if you're the county tax advisor or the tax county commissioner, and you're skimming, I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or Republican. You deserve to go to jail.
Right.
You're taking hard-earned people's tax dollars that we need for infrastructure and schools and buses, and you're buying shit with it on your own, and you're flying around going to fucking Bali on your. So to me, like, that's the one thing I can't stand is the whole base football mentality of no matter what, I'm still my guys. Still let it be. You guys, let's go check them. The old what about them?
Right.
Routine. But I'm watching this county commissioner over here in Orlando, like this tax collector. He's like Matt Gaetz' homie, and his shit's what cracked open the Matt Gaetz stuff. and all the investigations into this county tax collector here. And this guy has 22 counts. He was doing it all, bro. This guy was bribing judges. He was fucking stealing. He stole 500 mil. He had another 800 mil trying to get out. He installed a sprinkler system with taxpayer money to spray the picketers. So he angled them at a certain way, and the guy looks like a dirtbag, right?
Yeah.
And again, this isn't me being political. Like either side, if you fuck off, bro, I don't need you corrupt ass motherfuckers in the system. It's already hard enough. Like either side, fuck them. Get somebody in there that's an innocent person.
It's fucking nuts, dude. I can't stand it. Like the new documentary came out about the college admission scandals. All the rich people and celebrities were fucking paying for their dumbass kids to fucking make it into Harvard or whatever. Fucking I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. There's nothing sacred anymore.
Nothing, bro.
If
you got money, that's a wrap. Because this would have never came out without the internet and shit.
Yeah.
None of this happened in the 90s or the 80s. That happened. No one knew about it.
Right.
Like in order to figure out some shit back then, you really had to fuck up to let everybody. Like now, there's just so many more journalists because there's so many more publications, and there's just so much more investigating happening right now. You know,
right? Yeah,
it's just insanity. And I mean, I always wondered, like, as a kid, or maybe a younger person, I'd be like, how did like a city like Rome or an organization or whatever the fuck you call it, a country like Rome fall?
An empire, yeah.
Yeah, how does an empire fall? And I'll tell you how. Just like this, bro. Just like this. Everybody's fucking off and just abusing the system. And next thing you know, this is what it is. It's the leadership and the greed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all. I mean, we're just a bunch of dummies running around forced to pay money, or we go to fucking jail. I mean, we're not the guy that scumbag hang out here aiming, $2,000 sprinkler system at picketers that he paid with taxpayer money. I mean, this guy's story, it was all over the news this morning, and it is just beautiful, dude. This guy's charges are unreal. I mean, not to mention the other sicko shit too. The fucking underage girl stuff and things like that. Like we're talking the scams and
just not a good dude, man. Like, and that shit happens at all levels all the time. That's what's crazy. Like, it's always just the tip of the iceberg. You only pick off the dumbest ones,
Well, that's what. Well, you know what? And again, I'm not like I used to be a huge conspiracy guy, and I kind of see myself. I mean, I still entertain them, and I still see them as possibilities. I'm not passionate about them anymore. But the Epstein dying thing, you're like, yeah, we get it now, bro. And I don't understand though. I guess they just can't get to the Glaxine Maxwell chick or whatever, because shit's starting to slowly come out what they were up to, and it's only a matter of time before she dies, because they had he was basically they were just blackmailing everybody, city judges, city officials. They send them over women, and then they film it, and now they have blackmail, and now they get whatever they want, and that's what that billionaire was doing.
Yeah, that's what
Epstein was doing.
These fucking politicians are so stupid. Like, you think, okay, this guy that you obviously already know, like, has mafia ties or whatever, like, he's going to hook you up with free prostitutes or whatever. You think that's not going to come back to fuck you, dude?
Come on.
Like, you idiot. Now you're trapped forever.
It's like, dude, just, yeah. I mean,
I've probably, I get offered free hookers all the time. And every time I'm like, no way, dude. I'm not going to have you making me go commit crimes for you. Like, forget about it.
Exactly what's going on, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, so I get turned me into your own personal fucking dirty cop? Fuck off.
It's just like the old saying, there's no such thing as a free hooker.
No.
Right? There's always a catch.
Go to a bar and just do it the old school way, bro. Go find you a lady the old school way,
Yeah.
Go to a bar, get on the internet. Don't be trying to get it through your local connects that have an undercover fucking sex ring going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, I mean, this shit, when I hear about judges and shit, I'm just like, God damn. These dudes thought they were getting an innocent hand job, and now they're fucking tossing cases, bro.
Mm-hmm. It happens all the time.
And Matt Gaetz, that guy's been, he's got several different shit that's happened throughout his life. A dead roommate.
Yeah.
Some other in college, several DUIs that his dad kind of got him out of,
Right.
And again, I don't know the specifics to all that. And I don't know, like, I can't sit here and I couldn't argue that point. Like, if somebody was a huge Matt Gaetz fan or a huge Matt Gaetz advocate, and then they were like, okay, well, let's debate it. I'd be like, all right, well, let's slow down. Let me give you some time, because I can't just be bringing up the fact that he possibly murdered his roommate because he found out he was gay or something, or
Right.
And he got all these DUIs and his daddy got him off. Like, I can't argue that because I have not, indulged in research. But damn, I'll tell you what, if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, that old saying.
Yeah, and I mean, just think about everybody that's listening. Just think about in your own circle, wherever you work, all the people that you know, whatever. Think about how many shady fucks that you come across in your world, right? Like, you got that guy in the office that is fucking like always cheating on his time sheet, or whatever. Like he's reporting overtime that he done like it happens at all levels everywhere. And now put that person, now put yourself in the middle of somewhere like super, not that your place isn't important, but you're in the U.S. Senate or whatever. There's going to be the same amount of shady fucks in there as there is at Ford Motor Company.
But probably more, because there's so much more that they can fuck with, and there's so much more potential for larger sums of cash.
Yeah, and a lot of them are already like power hungry type people anyway. Like their motives aren't fucking
and bullshitters.
Yeah.
Let's say like maybe 5% of politicians. And then I say, maybe when they start, they have a good reasoning. They have good, whatever the word I'm looking for is, they want to do good. Their intentions are well. That's it.
Right.
But then you get into that world, and then I guess you just figure it out that nothing you do is ever going to do a goddamn lick of help.
Right.
So you just like, fuck it. And you just start playing the system and not giving a fuck. You just you get your paycheck. You sign off on some bills. You cut some ribbons at some city stuff, and you do some press conferences. You do some reading for the kids, and then you steal the rest of the time.
These fucking lobbyists, they're fucking evil. The ones that work for these huge corporations and shit, and they're the ones like, hey, we'll help you get backing for this thing that you have good intentions for. That's really going to help your area or with your constituents, but you're going to have to tack on this other bill that makes cigarettes being able to be sold in vending machines at kindergartens. And they're like, okay, well, if I got to sell cartons of cigarettes to a vending machine at kindergartens, then, as long as I can get the pothole thing through that I need.
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
They're the biggest pigs in this whole operation.
Yeah.
And I think that the older, like, then you get to these old ass dudes and you're like, dude, these guys, they know the system so well, the loopholes, the fucking ins and outs, how to transfer shit, how to make shit get,
it's nuts.
Nobody gives a flying fuck. You think Lindsey Graham really gives a fuck? That guy hated Trump. He used to lay into him, and then all of a sudden one day, he's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
So I see shit like that, and I'm like, okay, what happened here? Was he just trying to sabotage it so he wouldn't get the nomination? And then when he figured out that he had no choice, that's going to be his leader on the Republican Party. So does he just jump ship from and then become his friend and his ally? Or was there some blackmail in there? Because we just don't know anymore. The Godfather did it the best. He's the one who opened The Godfather Part 1. He had that senator. He comes in, the senator was fucking blowing him off like an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't need you wops, whatever he calls them.
Then he puts a fucking horse head in his bed?
No. That was the director. No, that was the movie director.
Yeah, that's right.
But then what happened was the senator was at a brothel, and he somehow the girl died.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Doing the asphyxiation thing, and the girl dies.
Yeah.
And Michael walks in, and he's like, "Don't worry, we'll fix this. Get out of here." And then that was it. He was his soldier from then on. This senator was the biggest Corleone fucking family. I want to go on record to say that the Corleone family has been nothing, like when they're having the hearings and shit.
Right.
The hardworking Italian people, which was all bullshit because he basically said in the earlier scene that he hates Italians.
Yeah, you twisted fuck.
Yeah.
All because he fucking has a crazy ass fucking fucked up sense of what I need to get an orgasm.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? It just fucked him.
It's wild, bro. Hey, at least wait, look. But if anybody wants to fucking somehow do something to us, but to make us do stuff, but we make a whole bunch of money or whatever, then I'm kind of down, bro.
Yeah. Fuck it at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I am going to be running for U.S. Senate.
I think it's time to start getting bribing old Uncle Todd.
Right. So if you get anything that you want to get approved in the next 8 years, go ahead and start sending some shit to the House.
Oh shit, man. That's funny. I brought my cornhole bag. We got cornhole boards here already. I was already warming up this morning. I played my girl's little niece. She's 6.
Nice.
But she plays like 5 feet from the board, and I play from back in the like normal.
Cheater. She's a cheater.
She's so damn cute, bro. Playing with it, she's rubbing it in my face because she won.
And
I was like, nothing I can do. She's just like, I'll come into the room and she just looks at me like, you took a dub, you took an L against me, and then she just wanders off. This morning, there's 2 little girls here. There's my girl's brother and he's married with a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and they're just the most adorable little things, and they're just these cute little voices that talk all the time and very clear.
Right.
Especially obviously a 6-year-old, but I'm saying the 4-year-old is very clear and she walks into our room this morning, me and my lady, and my lady has, when it's anytime in the female time of the month, the headaches are real bad. My lady has real bad headaches. And so the little girl comes in this morning, little Paigey, and she goes, "Hi, Aunt TT. How's your headache doing? Are you feeling any better? I don't ever get headaches. What brings them on?" And she's just a little cute ass voice, and then she's over there in the mirror, like fixing her hair, and then she goes back and she goes, "Okay, well, I'm gonna get out of here. I just wanted to come check on you, Aunt TT." And then she just left. It was the cutest little thing.
Nice.
Damn, little kids are so cute.
The weather here's been fucked up. I haven't been able to throw any bags. It's all rainy and cold. Just fucking typical Indiana nasty gray shit.
Yep.
I've been looking hard at buying my own cameras one by one for future filming shit, for like documentary stuff or whatever, for our stuff.
Like a DSLR?
Yeah. I've been looking. Got to shoot true 4K, obviously. So they're a little pricey, but it's so expensive. Like, if I want to keep making documentaries, and like, what are the odds they're going to get funded by studios? That's like once every blue moon. If you want to make them, you get, save yourself. I already spent 15 grand on that one. So, I mean, between all of us.
Yeah.
Like, if you can save yourself 15 grand, what the fuck?
Oh, you mean a production cost that you would have saved if you had the cameras?
Fuck yeah. Because that's just in shooting. That's not even hardly any editing at all right now.
Yeah, in the best world for me personally, I would have 2 DSLRs in a backpack with the lavs, and then I would just, like, whoever the producer is, just, here you go, buddy. I just hand him my backpack, so that way I don't have to ever worry about anybody else's gear.
Yeah,
I'd have the same setup we had with Barstool with Booze. He had his backpack with the 2 $5,000 DSLRs, the Sony Cam 5s or whatever he had, and then he had the sound in there, and the full fucking setup, bro, and a tripod bag, dude.
Yeah,
and that's what I would have, and I'd just be like, let's roll. And then I'd have the gear, and I would never have to worry about anything because I'd have the gear, and then the producer just have to show up and grab it and put it together, film it and edit it.
I'm gonna teach myself how to film it. I don't even want to pay for the labor. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna post the $20 Chef episode this afternoon to Instagram, and then next week I'll post the snow. Well, today's the snow day episode. It's going to be the awesome snow day episode. And then next week I'll put up the ACL episode.
Nice.
So I'm excited. We got 2 of these episodes in the can. So that means I got another week to get another couple off at the house, and it's warming up. So it's going to be nice. I can start filming outside again.
Sweet.
Which is perfect. Sweet. I just want to film outside, man. I love inside and all that, but I just love being on my butcher block, dude. And I just feel the most confident, the most free, the most funny, the most in my element is at that butcher block with my grill. And that's all I need, dude.
Oh, yeah. Being outside's better for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks being inside. Been stuck here forever. Like, we had one warm day here. It was like 72 degrees. I was like, all right, here we go. And then next day, like 40.
It's hot shit down here, bro. Well, yesterday it was. Now
it's Florida.
I know. Right now, it's 72 right now.
Jesus.
It's gonna be tomorrow's the highest 64, completely sunny though. That's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You got 72, 75, 79, and then the 80s kick in, and that's a wrap.
I'm almost done with Indiana, dude. I guess I'm getting old. That's what happens when you get old. You're like, fuck this. Fuck these winters. Fuck these gray ass fucking, in between phases between winter and spring, or spring and evidently spring and summer. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's the worst. Because all it does is rain in fucking May.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you just got to hope that it doesn't rain for the Indy 500,
Yeah. Our weather's fucked up.
Yeah, I definitely, the older I get, the more and more I'm like, that's Florida's the move, bro. Florida's the move. California is too crazy. It's first of all, the homelessness is absolutely taking over, and the taxes are out of fucking control, and their government oversight's stupid right now.
Yeah.
They can't even they still aren't doing comedy clubs there. They still haven't opened up. Like, these fucks are asleep over there. Again, there it is. It's a Dem-controlled state, and again, as a libertarian, I'm like, would you fucking momos open up? So people are trying to live.
It's nuts, dude. Like, you can't. They're talking about, in some places, after the vaccines, like after the first, we get the 70% done or whatever, like still fucking living pretty much the way we have been because it controls other diseases, the spreading of other diseases. And I'm like, this will be the fucking end of the world. That if we go through with that, it's done. There'll be revolts. Plus, I need to get sick from time to time. Like you getting sick right now with a cold, you need that. Your body fights up like resistance and an immune system. If you like keep me from getting exposed to fucking germs and disease in any form, 10 years from now when I get it, it's going to fucking kill me because my body has no way to fight it off.
Yeah, they need to.
Stupidest thing I ever heard.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. And I don't think anybody's gonna play that game, bro. Maybe except the scared fuckos that are lazy, don't never leave the house anyways. They don't leave the house. You guys keep doing what you're doing, but the rest of us are out in these streets, kid. I got shows to do. I got events to be at. I got bags to throw. We got shit to do, Todd, and we ain't got time to be fucking around with these clowns in there. Well, let's live this Corona lifestyle. How about you do it, buddy?
Yeah, how about you do it? Maybe,
and then don't push it on nobody else. Don't push it on nobody.
Maybe the economy needs us to get back to fucking normal eventually. Sooner or later, my mortgage company is going to want the government to lift this fucking COVID relief thing. I'm digging it right now. Like, I haven't had to pay my mortgage in quite a while, but one day they're going to need some fucking money, right? Yeah. The government's going to have to stop printing it and giving it to banks to keep them open. So,
well, I wish I could have got the stimmy, but I never did. The last few years I made too much.
Yeah.
But I wish I could be like, hey guys, I don't make that no more. So, hit your boy with the old stimmy because I need it.
I haven't gotten one fucking stimulus check. Nah. These cocksuckers.
Pigs. By the way, I had a list. I forgot I did write down who we kicked off the feed again because I know we have a list. An ongoing list of people that we don't want on this to subscribe. Mm-hmm. But we have to go back and maybe ask Jarrett or Jeff on a full list. We need a full list of people banned from our feed.
Right. Yeah. It's what we're 3,000 last time I looked at it, right?
Yeah, 3,000 people get kicked right the fuck off.
Yeah. So sorry, but you know what? We don't suffer fools up in this place,
Nah, dude. We'll continue the growth. And we'll fill the void of the fuckos that we don't like. The Jiffy Lube people that upsell and hurt people's finances. Mm-hmm. Again, we'll live without you.
I mean, we lost at least 300-400 in the automotive repair industry alone that were kicked off this fucking feed.
If 10 of those people can step out of their jobs and see that maybe the bigger picture is not robbing people at Jiffy Lube, and then they could still get to listen. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If we could help 10 people escape that, then I think that the 290, I can live without them.
I can live without them for sure, dude.
That's 10 people. That's 10 shift. That's 10 people. That's 5 shifts a week. That's 50 Jiffy Lube shifts a week. No longer getting robbed. Those guys are no longer robbing. That's awesome. That's 200 shifts a month. We've saved people money.
Damn.
Here's what I'm going to do right now. If you're listening to this podcast, we fucking love you. Tell one person about it.
That's
one. What we want. We're going to start doing guests and shit. You know, we wanted to have a good 30, 40 episode run before we started doing guests. We're going to start having guests and having fun people on with us. But go grab somebody. Just get one person, somebody that you think will love to laugh and enjoy it, and put them on to us. That's what we need. We need growth from within. And that's the good people that listen to us every day. Just grab one person and be like, listen, do us a favor. Go listen to episode 26, and then maybe you will get it, even though you don't get it.
Absolutely. And
kick them off with 26, I think.
I'm offering anybody who can get up to 10 other people to listen one free hooker. One free hooker for anybody that can get 10 people to listen to the show that's never listened before.
10 new subscribers. Yeah. Subscribers.
10 new subscribers get you one free hooker from my dude, Marcellus Wallace.
Yes. And and also you lost your LA privileges. But that's all we need. Everybody listens. If we could just, that would be the easiest double up in history. If everybody just grabbed one person.
Oh yeah.
And said, fucking listen to this, subscribe to this. That's what we want.
I do that all the time. I turn people on the podcast like immediately. I can't keep my mouth shut about them though. The same way, like if I watch a movie I like or a documentary, I'm like, I'm fucking telling all my friends, watch this right now. Write this down. You know?
Yeah. I'm the same way. I used to rock Tim Ferriss so hard. I was like,
oh yeah,
to just listen to that dude talk. He's so fucking smart. And he's like, I mean, literally that guy is a million times smarter than me. You know, and the people that he have on, like the guy who invented WordPress or the dude who invented PayPal, you know, shit like that.
Oh.
And you're just listening to these people talk. You're just like, Jesus, I am hopeless. I'm just one of the little dots in the middle of the freeway that makes the lanes separated.
Dude, people like that are just fascinating to me. Like how you end up so fucking awesome and powerful and influential, and you start all this cool shit. Like I just live my life. I'm just roaming around trying to make fun. Just, you know, hey, I'm a clown and a microphone, whatever. I'm not changing the world in any way, but people that do, I fucking admire so much, man. I do. Like, it's crazy.
Like my lady's dad is unbelievable. Like with this man's business mind. And, you know, he went from just a blue collar ass regular dude, you know, into an absolute business mogul. And they make it look so easy. You know?
I know.
That's the wild part.
They got special brains. I'm like, how do you even get something like that started? Like that bottoms up dude we were talking about, the comedian here in Indianapolis, creates a fucking, you know, patents. He invents something that didn't exist in the world, filling a beer glass or cup from the bottom, no head at all, and it can do it in an instant. Yeah. Like, how do you have that kind of brain?
I saw it yesterday. I was on I found this page on Mavi Gadget or something like that. That's where I found that post to the $20 chef page with the fucking grill or whatever, right? And then I was rolling through their page, and then boom, there it is, your boy's invention with the beer from the bottom.
It's fucking nuts, though, dude. Like I think of shit all the time that I want to be in the world that isn't there. But it's always like stupid shit, like houses made of candy and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just theoretical fantasy bullshit. I never really, my mind doesn't go to what is the world really missing, and can I make it in my garage, or, you know, can I get a bunch of investors together and actually put this into a business? Like, good for them. I mean, we need them. And
I'm a king of fucking inventing things that are already a thing.
Yeah, I do the same things.
Like that's what we do a lot on this show. The ground drone especially.
Yeah.
That one, I thought we were on to something.
Well, the tsunami bomber. Like I thought there's no way that exists in the world. And people start saying this, they're already there.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to make sure that everybody knows that we didn't see that and then try to play it off.
No.
You know, we didn't do that.
No.
So that was just like the next day. And I think that our podcast came out before that post.
Yeah.
Whoever posted that shit. So that was a little bit of an alibi, but I was like, these motherfuckers, dude.
I mean, it's just, I think just our brains are just about 8 or 10 years behind, you know, these people that we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're not behind you that are listening because you guys don't get it. We get it.
You guys don't even get it. We do, but
we're talking about geniuses.
Yeah. And there's probably 1 or 2 of you on the feed here, you know, but you know, the tsunami, that one time I invented a reality show and I was like, this could be great. And then someone sent me a link and goes, it's already a thing. And I'm like,
Son of a bitch.
It was making a house that people live like the 80s and the 90s.
Really?
And it's already been done. No, none of the technologies. You have to live like it was 1980, 1990.
Wow. You know, I can remember clear as a bell, my uncle and my dad sitting around that we were like family Monopoly night, you know? So we were at their house and all the kids and parents, whatever, playing Monopoly. And I can remember clear as a bell, my dad and my uncle, this is way before video stores. They were like, you know what would be awesome if one day you could get the movies at a store, like you can go there and get it and play it at home somehow, and you wouldn't have to go to the movie theater anymore. Of course, my dad, you know, he's working in a factory, you know, managing production or whatever, and so's my uncle. Like they can't. But what about the guy they had the thought early enough, right? But what if they're like the bottoms up dude or one of these other people, and they're like, yes, let's fucking go in the garage right now and figure out how to put movies on a little tape thing in a cassette that you can, and then they'll invent a machine that you can feed it into and play it, and it'll show on your TV. Like, what the fuck? You know,
I think because there's two types of people, right? Like, I'm way more of a dude of like, put me in where the job is at, put me in and let me go to work. That's all, you know, I'm on premises doing it. But when it's like a thing where I got to like, okay, I got to figure out how to get, well, what am I going to do here? I got to do this and this to get that to happen. And I got to like to sit around on myself and figure it out. It's not going to happen.
Oh, exactly.
But if you put me in the fucking job, I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
You know, but like on my own, if I'm sitting here.
Yeah. Like I went to work for the sign company. Like I can help make things better because they were, you know, back then they were just painting on the side of buildings. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. What if we put it on a board-like material, painted on that, and then we affix that to the side of the building? Before, you know, I don't even think there were signs before that. I think, you know, but I didn't get credit for it or whatever. I was just an employee that made an already existing idea better.
I saw a machine today that you tape it it connects to the wall. It's basically like, think of a style of a 3D printer or whatever. No, not 3D printer. It's a printer that just you put it up next to the wall and it prints off right on the wall.
Really?
Like it's a tall, big thing, so it can make big old pictures.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just ring, like a freestanding printer.
Wow.
Like, damn, it didn't look dope, but it was putting on. It was awesome. This shit looked great that it was printing.
Well, that makes sense because, you know, like people that do the wood carving things. You ever seen that? Like you put it into the little CAD system part and whatever, and then you just feed the board through and it laser carves this awesome picture of your face or whatever you put in there.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that. Yeah, those people buy those machines for like 10 grand and they just fucking clean house on them.
Yeah, so it makes sense that you would have one that could stand up against a wall and like paint.
Yeah. I did, by the way, I did this podcast with Felicia Michaels and Jessica Wellington the other night after our podcast. And I it's called the Liars Club. So they have two guests on, there's two hosts, and then there's also two people that are kind of like, I don't know, they're just kind of like on there to like fact check and follow along to like figure out if you're the podcast premise is you got to come on with two stories. One's true and one's false.
Right.
And you got to, you know, you want to sell the fuck out of both of them, obviously, because you want them they have to figure it out.
Right.
And I used your taser story from last week where you had the guy hitting the skull and shit and falling down at the gas station, except I just witnessed it from my car gassing up. Instead of being like, I just said I had witnessed it, and I tricked 3 out of 4 of them.
Nice.
They thought I told them my ghost story that happened when I was with Fluffy, which was one time we were on, I don't know if I mentioned this here before.
No, tell this story real quick because this is going to be awesome.
And you know I'm not a ghost dude, right? Like, I'm not a ghost dude. I just think that, to me, like, I don't know.
I'm a ghost dude. You're not.
Yeah. And but one time we were all hanging out. It was in Cape Cod, I think. And we used to do this awesome run. So after summer, you know, Gabriel always take the summer off. So like mid-June was our last tour date. And then we didn't come back till August. And we would always come back, right? We'd fly into Boston. We'd do the Wilbur, couple of shows, hop on the bus. And then you just had a fucking 2 or 3 week run down the coast and doing nothing but awesome venues off the water, right? So in Cape Cod, there's like this big old huge amphitheater out. There's a roof on it, but it's outdoory. There's no walls really. And it's this awesome venue, right? And there's really nothing around it. Just this big ass venue. And then they got an old ass hotel across the street. Very large old hotel. Like it's almost like a Victorian, like it's kind of a lot of people died in it, I would assume.
Yeah.
Just by the look at how long it's been there. Now the street that goes in between it is like this long, windy road into like the forest.
Okay.
Like there's not that many street lights, and there was no houses and shit. I didn't see any houses. It was just woods. Like so, because we had to walk from across the street. So you look down the street when you walk from venue to hotel, and there's nothing down there, especially at night. It was just pitch ass black.
Right.
So we're all drinking afterwards at the rental car, right? We're all hanging out in the parking lot, just getting hammered. And just chilling, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get my shit from the bus and head over to the hotel, So I go to the bus, I get some stuff, and I'm walking back, and out of fucking nowhere, which I don't know how an old lady walking a half a mile an hour can sneak up on me, but bro, out of nowhere, in the dead center of this street, coming from the darkness of the forest where that street leads to, this lady's looking at me in her nightgown, and she's going, "You're not my husband. You're not my husband." Like in this weird, like glassy look over her eyes. And I'm just like, I
just got chills.
What the fuck is going on here, dude? And I'm like, lady, are you okay? And she just kept going, "You're not my husband. You're not my husband."
Oh man.
So I just fucking bolted to the hotel, bro. I mean, I should have called for some help or something. Because the realistic side, I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is not a ghost, bro. This is a fucking lady that probably has dementia, and she got loose.
Yeah, this is a silver alert.
But I'm like, first of all, where the fuck does how many miles did this lady walk? So to this day, that was I can't remember if anybody else had saw her. I just remember tripping out, and to this day, I didn't see her. And then all of a sudden, bang, she's just standing there in the middle of the street, like talking to me.
Oh my god!
At like 2 a.m. So and I was so tripped out, bro. And to this day, I still don't know what the hell it was.
But you think ghost because like there was no, like you saw her from a distance walking toward you. She just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere in the middle of the street at 2 a.m., like out of pure darkness, out of forest darkness.
Yeah. That's
and just right
creepy.
down the middle of the street with a nightgown on, just like swaying. And it was just the creepiest thing that ever. And to this day, it could have been a ghost. I don't know. But it also could have just, like I said, it could have been something else. But I just could never place where that lady had came from.
That's
like how
creepy,
fucking
bro.
far did this lady have to walk if this is a real lady? Otherwise, this is a ghost. I don't know. But that was my biggest encounter of all time, and my only encounter, really. Sometimes
there's just no other explanation. Like that story I told about the one I saw at Wiley's the comedy club. Like the doors were locked. It was like 3:30 in the morning. Only in Richie and I in there. It could not have been another person. Like there was no one there, and it's just the creepiest feeling ever.
I got another good Richie story yesterday. I'm not a good one, but I had to ask him on Twitter. He posted his flyer for his comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
No dates, no address, no club name. It just says Owensburg or something, and it just has no dates or time or the club or the address. It's just old Rich Reagan's and a couple other dudes, and just fucking says Owensburg. And
just come to Owensboro, Kentucky, and find me, baby.
I comment under. I go, location, time, date, place, like and then he put, this is all they sent me. I'm just like, come on, man.
Was there a link even?
Nothing.
No link to even buy the tickets.
It's quite possibly, the worst promotion in the history of promotions. And I asked him. I had to ask him, bro. It was so funny. Let me see where he's at. I'm going to show you this, dude. Look at this. Look at this fucking flyer. Did he take it down? No. Look, here we go.
There's no information at all, bro.
But I'll tell you what, though, Homer Shadowheart's on the show, and also Master of Ceremonies Van Gunther. The bottom, it's on a Thursday. It's on a Thursday.
It's today.
It's Thursday, April 1st. But I'm guessing here. Look at the bottom.
Yeah,
like, I'm fully guessing. I can kind of see the end of an R here, and that's it.
But still, Owensboro is, even though it's in Kentucky, it's not a small town. But like, you can't just. Like, there's only one place in Owensboro. Like, That's fucking ridiculous.
And it says, I feel like it's one only because of Louisville, but it says Caravan on top, but it's completely cut off. You can't even see the line in the A. So, I mean, I only know that because I used to work the Caravan a lot. Obviously, you used to own it, but I don't know what the fuck this is.
That means Tom Sobel, he's a comedy booker. That means he booked the room because he started the Comedy Caravan originally. And when he sold the club, after being the original owner, he maintained rights to the name Comedy Caravan because he also was, at that time, he was a huge booker and he was sending people all over the country booking like off-site shows. And like some people had a full-time comedy schedule with him. And now it's died off. He's just booking here and there every now and then, but he still has the name Comedy Caravan behind his,
Yeah, which is cool and all. By the way, that lady hasn't gotten back to me. And I don't know. I thought they fucking loved me down there. Now they just don't reply to emails.
I can get you set up there. But also there's another venue there we'll talk about. I'm conflicted about playing that club because there's another venue.
Well, they've never replied back to me in 2 years.
I know.
Well, I mean, last year don't really count, but even the 2 years before that, I used to fucking headline it all the time, even when she took over.
The only reason I got back in touch with them is because I was in the car with Richie when they were having a phone conversation. And then she was like, oh, yeah, let's set Todd up with a date. And then she keeps asking me, I'm like, I got to look at my schedule. I got so many stuff pending that I can't commit to any dates. So I know they come through. But let's talk about Louisville because there's some options. Some options there.
I just can't wait to get my set back to where it was. Like when I first got to Indy, like I didn't have much money, but we were always scrambling, paying rent a few days late. But man, my set was fucked. Even in LA, when I left LA, my shit was, I had a sword ready to cut fools up.
Mm-hmm. I was just talking to somebody about it the other day. That day that was 72 degrees, I was outside drinking margaritas, and I was talking to somebody on the phone. I can't remember who it was, comedian, obviously, but I miss the sharpness, like how sharp you were, the timing being perfect, no words flubbed, never a pause where I'm like, okay, what am I talking about? What am I going to do next? Like now, as the rust comes off, I still will find myself after saying a bit, not knowing where I'm going to go next, right? I'll be like, oh, let me take a drink. Boom. And then I get my head together real fast. Boom. Okay, let's go here next. Used to, like when you're performing several times a week, every week or whatever, it's subconscious. Like you're working ahead. You're working 2 bits ahead in your head. Yeah. And you're not even listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth. They just flow. And your show is so much better then, right? Because they're seeing you on stage and it flows better. The timing's impeccable. You know exactly what facial expression to make with that line, what to do with your hands in the exact perfect way. I miss the fuck out of that, man. Yeah, that sharp. You know what it is? It's also the confidence and the confidence because I knew the material inside and out. And now I have to I haven't said my bits for so long that I have to am I fucking saying this bit right? Yeah.
Am I missing a line? Am I fucking up a line? Because you miss one line in the old bit, you fuck the whole bit up. It's worse than telling a bit for the very first time because you're right. Mm-hmm. That bit was already constructed for everything that's within it in that order. That's how it works. It's like baking a cake and you forgot to put sugar in there. It's not going to turn out well, Yep. Yeah. Yeah, no, that shit was beautiful. And I know it. But I was also on the road at least 3 weeks a month, at least. Plus, we were doing our Tuesday night shows. Mm-hmm. So I was out, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, plus Tuesday, and I'd have Sunday, Monday off or a Wednesday off. Yeah. But otherwise, it was I just walking in feeling so fucking invincible, and I didn't care who I went up after, who went up before me, and I just even if it was somebody really good or really funny. Then I just got more juice and more that drive in my stomach where I'm like, okay, yeah, kill, man, kill, yes, fucking kill in front of me, bro, come on. And then I'm like, fuck yeah, kill in front of me, because I just needed it. I needed that challenge, I needed it because the satisfaction when you fucking get off after some dude crushes, mm-hmm. You almost make everybody forget about the dude crushing. and then you just go up there for an hour and just bust their ass, I get off ready to throw furniture around, bro. Like, fuck yes. Like, I'm just so, because it's such a hard challenge. People never understand like the mental, like, yeah, they always talk about, I could never get up there and tell jokes. Yeah, well, wait till you do get up there and tell jokes. And then somebody goes up before you and absolutely obliterates the place.
Oh, yeah.
It is, people look at you like, people look at comedians like we're all against it. We're all the same genre. We're all the same everything. They don't ever separate it off like they should, like the way music does. Pandora's helped change that a little bit. But overall, people just know we're all comedians, right? Like that's it. Oh, well, he's funny. You guys got to be funny. There's levels of energy. Like, again, that's what we always talk. Usually I go up after you, not because of levels of funny. It's just because of levels of energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And volume, like it's fucking. I'm loud, and I'm louder, and my energy is popping out of the ceiling.
The best thing you could ever do, like nobody here ever wanted to follow Miss Pat. If it was like the open mic night or whatever, and she was going to come do a guest set or whatever, then like nobody would go out because she would just destroy the room in her own way, right? And it's very different than how you're going to do comedy or what.
Yeah.
So I would always go after her. Like usually, because nobody else would want to. I'm like, I'll take the bullet or whatever. But all you got to do is like, I would just call back to something she just did that fucking destroyed. Yeah. And then, or I had a personal story about Pat. So I would go up and tell a story about something that she and I went through that was hilarious, Yeah. And I'm like, dude, there's ways around. And plus, if you're confident in your shit, like if you go up there looking like you're fucking about to piss your pants, you ain't gonna get shit out of these people.
You're fucked.
They just watched a monster, and now you come up looking like you're about ready to shit yourself. Like,
they don't
dead.
see you as no leader, bro.
No, the firing squad just goes.
They can see right through us too. They know we got the confidence, and we go up there like questioning our own shit. They're like, wait, if you don't believe in your shit, why the hell would I believe in your shit? Like that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But sometimes they just, and I've gotten bumped a bunch of times by some savages. Oh man. And I'll tell you what, I love the challenge, but like right now I would be like, fuck, like I'll still want that to go up and crush under somebody. But before I was just so much more of a fighter mentality, when you're doing it week in and week out and you're sharp and you're fucking bobbing and weaving and you can just, and 95% of the time you just walk off to applause breaks. There's just it's really unfuckwittable.
Oh yeah,
and that's what I can.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Excited to get back to that.
It's got to get back to normal, dude. Like I've seen it, and I've seen it in other like big comics too that I've seen, like because they haven't been performing on a regular basis either, and they look different. Like,
well, Russell Peters was a great example. He had, everybody was crushing before him, and then he goes right up there and he makes fun of everybody individually, and then he gets into his shit. Because at that level, it doesn't matter. If people don't care, like they're there to see one guy, Russell Peters. He's got $50 tickets, like to start off in the back row.
Right?
He's an absolute global phenom, and I was killing. A.G. White was killing. Yoshi was killing. Everybody was having these monster sets, and then Russell goes up there, makes fun of me makes fun of AG, makes fun of Yoshi, and then boom, he's off and running, bro. It was fucking beautiful.
Yeah, but I guarantee you look at him now versus 18 months ago. Look totally different.
Yeah,
because everybody's losing this sharpness, your timing and all that stuff. It's not on point right now. It can't be. Nobody's performing enough.
Some people Russell though. He's such a hard worker. He's already packing. He's like, look at his schedule. He's doing fucking back to back to weekends. Like he's back, and he just left. He had to cancel Indy and move Indy to August or something because he's going to Montreal to do some shit.
Yeah,
in Canada, and for a few weeks.
John Caparulo had to cancel this weekend. Rich Reagans is coming to Helium in Indianapolis. So if you're listening to this and you know Rich Reagans, go see him this weekend at Helium. He's headlining all weekend, tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. No, I'm sorry. What's today?
Today's Thursday.
He's headlining Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I had him with a retweet yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll be in Lexington, obviously, in April 22 to the 24. So if you're in Lexington, Kentucky area within a 7-hour drive, you know what? Just 5 hour. If you're a 5-hour drive of Lexington, come party.
It's a cool place. Dude, you got to go to Country Boy Brewery when you're there. and get the fucking wings.
Okay.
Best wings I've ever eaten in my life. I'm just going to flat out. So I know it's a bold statement. I've had a lot of great wings, a lot of different places. Those are my personal favorite wings I've ever eaten in my life. Country Boy Brewery. It's right by UK campus. It's great. You're going to love that club too. Comedy Off Broadway. The last time I was there, that was the last show I had before COVID hit. COVID had just started to get momentum on the news that week or whatever. And this, lady had a seizure in the crowd during my last set, late show Saturday, 10 minutes in or whatever. But I told that story to get the crowd, like, just to give them that confidence in me, like how much I love it there or whatever. And I told that story about the lady falling out because I could point to the table. And then I was like, and this is what I love about coming to Lexington, man. Like, we were shut down for an hour. This show stopped for an hour while the police came, emergency medical personnel got her. Finally, thankfully, she was okay, but they put her on what's the roller bed? The fucking
gurney,
and they wheeled her off to an ambulance, whatever. And then not one single person, which is true, from that audience left that show during that 1 hour. And I had 40 minutes left to do. And they were like, that's what I love about Lexington. They're like, fuck it, if she dies, she dies. We got 40 minutes left of this bitch. Like,
I paid to get in here. I'm drinking.
Yeah. It was great. It was a great way to break in. You're really going to like it. So your hotel when you walk out the back of your hotel, there's this courtyard with this huge pond with all these geese and ducks and shit. It looks cool. And then you can go down. There's this cool restaurant, Palmer's. It's seafoods are specialty, but it's kind of a little pricier place, but it's really cool. And then there's a little barbecue joint next to it, if it's open, and then the club. So you walk right out down some steps, curve around the pond, and then right there's a club on the right.
Yeah, I'm excited to go. My lady might come, but her birthday's the next weekend. So if we go to Vegas for ACL, she'll be coming. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk her into going 2 times in 2 weeks.
If I don't have anything going on, I'm going to come down there and hang out one night.
Fucking come hang out, bro. Do a set.
No, I won't do a set, but I'll just watch. I like to just watch and hang out.
It is fun to sometimes do that.
Yeah, the staff there is fucking awesome. The door guys, awesome.
And we didn't get too dumb on this episode. We were a little bit, serious up front. We talked a lot about comedy. We talked about, just what we're doing. We're talking about maybe everybody can just ask one person to also subscribe. You know what I mean?
And we warned you about accepting free hookers. There's always a catch. Just remember that. I mean, that might be our next shirt. There's no such thing as a free hooker. I don't know. It's a universal truth. So.
Just know that. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, and you're going to be getting bribed soon. Next thing you know, you're running cocaine for a small outfit, and you're not even getting paid for it. Just so your life don't get ruined.
Yep. Think about that. All right, buddy.
Later,
Let's get
buddy.
out of here. Love you.
Love you too, buddy.